I previously mentioned that this world is filled with art, which I found very strange, and today I decided to visit a museum. To get to this museum, I took the train. I had ridden the train once before in this world, but not fully understanding it made me too afraid to try it again until now. Having experienced it once, though, I thought I could manage this time. Recently, while I wasn't using my device, I noticed that it can display my location and give directions to places I want to go. I was surprised that it could answer individual questions like that. I found out that there's a museum about 15 minutes away by train. Since it would take quite some time to walk, I thought it would be good to try using the train. Since I had ridden it once, I had a rough idea of how to take the train. I bought a small piece of paper on the side, a ticket, as it's called. I bought a ticket, passed through the entrance gate, and this time I didn't forget to retrieve the ticket from the machine afterward. I know from my device about detailed information on which platform and train to take, so I simply followed the instructions without doing anything unusual. Soon, the train arrived and boarded it. After a while, the name of the station where I was supposed to get off was announced. Each station's name is displayed inside the train, but until I saw the name of the station I need to get off at, I felt a bit uneasy, wondering, am I really on the right train? Could my device be misleading me? And if it is, will I be able to get it back? However, my destination finally appeared, so I quickly got off to avoid missing it. The station was quite large, and at first glance, I couldn't easily tell where to go. It was also much more crowded and noisy than the station I had boarded at. However, I saw a sign on the wall that said museum, so I followed that in the indicated direction. This time, I had properly retrieved my ticket, so I was able to exit safely by inserting it into the gate again. After a short walk, I saw what looked like a sign with a map on it. So it seemed that after walking a bit farther, I would reach the museum. In the future, I had never seen or read a map before. So even though I could intuitively understand how to look at it, I wasn't sure which direction to go. I wandered around the area a few times, a bit confused. But as I walked, I noticed a sign pointing toward the museum, and when I headed in that direction, I finally saw a building that looked like it could be the museum. I went inside, feeling relieved that I had found it. To my surprise, though, an admission fee was required to enter the museum. Since there were many paintings around the city and a few people painting on street corners, I thought it might be free, but it seems that you need to pay to see art in the museum. The exhibitions seemed to be divided into two sections, so I chose to view the cheaper one. Inside, there was truly nothing but the art. Well, technically, only the paintings and the people. It felt very strange to be in a facility solely dedicated to viewing paintings. Everyone was simply looking intensely and intently at the art, despite the fact that it wasn't conveying any information or anything important. It seemed they genuinely enjoyed looking at the various abstract shapes assembled together. As I looked around, I noticed that there was a wide variety of art in the museum. Some pieces combined various shapes and colors. Some were three-dimensional, and others were more realistic depictions of the world. I wondered if the realistic ones were meant to convey information about the real world. But what about the more abstract ones with the distorted shapes? How was I supposed to view them? I wasn't quite sure, but it was a mysterious experience. The facility was very quiet, which reminded me a bit of being underground. Although I wasn't entirely sure how to appreciate it, I was glad I went as part of this experience. I also felt relieved that I was able to take the train back home safely.